Hello, truth seekers. Lawrence here, and welcome to Easy Enlightenment. So, we are seeking freedom of expression, isn't it? Freedom within and outside, freedom from the conflicted mind, freedom from the fear. This freedom from the fear is coming because fear is the one thing that kind of limits our expression. We hold back in our expression. Now, we are seeking the freedom of expression, but at the same time, we contradict that expression by seeking approval from the world, by seeking validation, by seeking appraisal. Isn't it? We're seeking freedom, but at the same time, we need the validation, approval from the world. Why? Why are we seeking this validation? This validation, seeking validation, is a long time conditioning from the school level to this present moment. When our foundation is set in that order, the same conditioning will prolong. The reason to seek validation is because the ego self feels good, isn't it? When someone says, "Oh, you're doing so good," when people comment about your effort in a positive way, it feels good. So this has been there from our environment when we are a kid. And now we are in this stage that we're still doing it. We want people to like our stuff. We want people to approve our stuff. We want people to say something about our stuff in a positive way. We hardly, take the criticism, but we want to see things coming towards us in a positive way. In a way that, you are doing great. Now, when we again hear this kind of stuff, approval, only the ego self feels good. Now, our conditioning is doing all this seeking, and this seeking of validation is contradicting the freedom of expression. So to be free in whatever we do and expressing ourselves freely, we have to stop seeking what the world think of what we do and who we are as a person. We gotta stop making the world feel good through our work. We do what we do. We align with the nature's way of things. From there, we can extend further in our creativity. But we don't have to seek validation. Instead of seeking validation, we can seek connection, how to make things better in the things that we do. Now that is positive, isn't it? Seeking connection, learning to make things grand without losing the simplicity, without losing the essential foundation, and building up and making something in a grand. That is okay, but not seeking approval Seeking approval, validation is the way to say, hey, am I okay? Am I doing right? So, again, the seeking of validation approval is itself is a contradicting our freedom of expression in the art that we align with. It's the mental struggle. So how do we break out of this seeking validation and just anchoring in the things that we do, trusting in the things that we do? One is learning to be aware and just putting your effort into what you do. That is still not truly freedom yet. You will be aware of your art, you will be aware of the pattern when you engage with your work, and you will make things happen. But to be truly free in the freedom of expression, in the art that we align, you have to wake up to the truth of who you are. Once you once you see who you are, and from that there's a true understanding, then you don't need to seek validation. You don't need to seek approval from the world. You don't need to hear from the people, you're great, you're doing awesome. You don't have to seek that. Once you see the truth, all the unnecessary seeking, the ego trip, the ego seeking will dissolve. And post-enlightenment will be the simple ego reference is there, but you won't be lost in the ego's drama. Okay? The ego is still needed post-enlightenment because the essential ego means that the reference of the mind. Only that will be there to connect the dots. And the rest is still happening from the place of awareness rather than conditioning. So, that's the difference. Being aware and working, aligning with the art, show you the pattern, help you understand things. But when you see the plain sight truth of who you are, then there will be true freedom of expression. There is no mental conflict. There is no more fear of what would the other people say? What would the world say about my things? You won't be having that idea anymore. And that is the true freedom of expression. So, how do we wake up to the plain sight truth of who we are? Now, we are talking about the seeking validation. We can use the same idea to create an inward journey. There are many things we have to see, dismantle, but we can dismantle the idea of seeking validation. So you ask yourself, why am I seeking validation? Because, right? When you ask, why am I seeking validation? There will be an answer for that question. Because, right? You know why. Now, whatever answer you see from the first question, why am I seeking validation? And whatever answer will resurface in your mind, now, why is that important on that question? You ask another question from seeing that answer. And after that, you will see another answer. Then use the why for that answer. So this is the way to backtrack it, to figure out why we seek validation. So we see the root cause of the seeking validation. That seeking, the root itself is the ingrained belief, ingrained preference. Now, you need to also dismantle, you need to trace back on that as well. So why am I maintaining this ingrained belief in me, associating with my validation? So you go back. Why do I have this ingrained belief? Because something. So you ask why. The why is going to lead you to the answer. And then same way you ask why on that answer. Why is that important? Or why do I have this? You go back, and from there you keep asking until nothing is left. Now, this is just the one scenario you're looking, as validation. Now, there are many, layers of the mind we need to investigate, especially, the things that we are attached to, the things that we are afraid. So we need to investigate that as well. But today, why we seek validation, you see the root, you maintaining the root, you moving from the root to continuing your conditioning, seeking validation. Now, why this root is there? What's the reason to hold on to this? And you start to see the fear. Fear of what? Keep going back. So this is a simple journey, inward journey you will create from this inquiry practice. And that's the way to figure out the truth of who you are. And once you see it, you will be free within and outside in the things that you're aligned with. Okay? So instead of seeking validation, definitely you can seek connection. Learn how to do things. And that way you'll also understand that, the connection itself is a pattern. It will help you, to understand the art that you are aligned with this way. Anyway, so, don't contradict yourself, your freedom of expression by seeking validation. If you want to live, freely within and outside. If you want to live the life fearlessly. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Hope you're enjoying the backward movement of the mind. And keep going, don't stop. When you get bored, it's good. You're supposed to feel bored. If you feel bored, it is triggering the ego self. The ego self don't like it. You're getting bored. But keep going, and you're just getting to the next phase of the inquiry. Okay? Yeah. Thanks for watching again. Take care for now. See you in the next video.